Mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
Akufado, minya wudienye, wuye bwe, Bawumia, minya wudienye, wuye bwe.
Hey, Mami Jamefua, why are you so excited this hot afternoon?
My sister, when I remember what free SHS has done for me and my children, I can't help but be happy for what Nanado and Dr. Bawumia have done. You remember when I lost my husband who was the breadwinner?
Yes, I remember very well.
There was no hope for my 3 children to go to school until Nanado and Dr. Bawumia introduced free SHS. Now my children, Kofi, Esi, and Kojo, attend all these big schools. In fact, do you know they are saying they want to review it? That's one. Some of their people are saying that they should cancel. Others too are saying they should make some people pay the fees.
Hey, they want to do their thing again. Who is going to pay and who will be going for free? They want to push we the poor people aside and start using their connection men and protocol to access the free SHS life-changing policy.
That is why we have to do everything in our civil rights to make sure they don't come and spoil this good thing for us.
This free SHS policy that Mahama and his people said is not possible, but now see,
it is possible. This year, we are voting to protect the free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Akusia Otre.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Like I said, MPP will use brain work, no brow. We're not going to organize people to flood the precinct of Parliament to make noise with placard. We don't need it. We respect the law.
That's the Member of Parliament for Futu Majority Leader Alexander Penyomaki. Meanwhile, the National Peace Council is calling for calm ahead of tomorrow's anticipated rank-cross parliamentary sitting in the wake of the Supreme Court decision following Speaker Bagbin's earlier decision to expel 4 MPs from the House. We have the full story here for you on Eyewitness News. Also coming up.
This public institution, when you go on strike for single day, it causes a whole lot of disturbances to those who are supposed to be here and get their card or whatever. It's very much disturbing.
Public Services Workers Union begin a strike that has grounded all services in the public offices. And later on Eyewitness News,
because I do not think that multi-party democracy should be jettisoned just from the corners of the Electoral Commission without our involvement. We think that justice has been grossly traversed and we will go to the Supreme Court.
End of the road for Bernard Mona of the PNC. Or is it not? We'll hear from him after the High Court dismissed his case against the Electoral Commission. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
World Bank projects Ghana's fiscal deficit to GDP at end of 2024 at 4.2%.
That's from the Citi Business Desk in 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. In the Upper West region, we are in the capital Wa on Tungsong 97.3 FM. We are also in Jirapa on 96.1 FM. That's Jirapa FM. We are in the Upper East region on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Northern region, we are in Bimbila on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu and VOV Radio 95.7 FM in Hohwe. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, and in the Western region, we are in Takrady on Beach 105.5 FM and Adwinpa 100.7 FM. In Takwa. We're live on our Facebook channel. Look for Citi FM. We're also on YouTube. Look for Citi FM. And you can also join the conversation on Twitter, now known as X, using the hashtag Citi Newsroom or Eyewitness News. mention me. The handle is at Umaru Sanda, or mention the station at Citi 973. Alternatively, you can go on WhatsApp and drop your messages 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's a new week. You may not have followed the news the whole of last week. Perhaps you're just returning to town or have been busy somewhere under a rock. So let me update you. Well, here's the update. There are 4 members of parliament who have decided not to run in office on election 2024, on December 7 election 2024, on the ticket of the party that they represent. Now, 2 of them represent the New Patriotic Party currently in parliament. They've decided to run as independent MPs. One of them is an independent MP who wants to run on the ticket of the NPP in the next election. And then the 4th person is a member of the NDC seeking to run as an independent candidate. There was a petition from the NDC side in Parliament, which petition had a determination by the Speaker Abansumana Kingsford Bagbin. When his gavel landed, he said all 4 of the MPs have lost their seats by virtue of their decision to contest on a ticket that was not the ticket they are currently occupying. He said that their seats had become vacant, which means the 4 of them cannot be in Parliament. Now, mathematically calculating, that would mean NPP has lost 3 MPs and NDC lost 1. Immediately, the NDC pronounced themselves the majority side in the Parliament, and justifiably so based on the numbers. The NPP staged a walkout. The following day, the NPP went to court, led by its leader, Alexander Penyumak, in the Supreme Court, and prayed to the Supreme Court that there is an injustice happening in the Chamber of Parliament. We want you to use your judicial review power to stop that. Now, the Supreme Court, or the judiciary for that matter, can review decisions of the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, and even administrative bodies. In line with that, the Supreme Court said, Parliament, or the Speaker of Parliament, what you have said, we do not challenge you, but we expect you to hold it. So essentially stopping or suspending what the Speaker had said should happen. Now, that decision was announced on Friday. The Parliament did not sit on Friday. What that means technically is that the decision of Bagbin, the Speaker, has been arrested by the Supreme Court. Lots of people are talking about this. There are people who agree with the Supreme Court's decision. There are people who also agree with Speaker Bagbin's decision. The NDC called a press conference yesterday and said they would obey what the Speaker has said, which means they would disobey what the Supreme Court has said. The NPP has said disobeying the Supreme Court is an affront to the Constitution, which actually creates the office of Parliament and all the other institutions around same. Tomorrow will be the first time the House of Parliament is sitting, or will be sitting, since the decision of Bagbin and the decision of the court. So, what is expected to happen? Many people predicting different things. People saying the Speaker would make an announcement and disregard what the Constitutional Court has said, the Supreme Court has said. There are other people who are saying that what the Supreme Court has said is going to hold sway tomorrow. Now, while that is happening, the National Peace Council has called a meeting today and is calling for peace tomorrow. Now, apart from that, there are several other voices that have been speaking up, legal luminaries speaking on various views, sharing various views on what exactly the situation should be tomorrow. Should the Speaker's expulsion of the 4 MPs stand, or it should collapse? Ahead of the sitting tomorrow, which is expected to be rancorous based on everything we've known about our Parliament, which actually started on rancor on January 6 into January 7, 2021, the majority leader, well, based on which of the determinations you're looking at, if you look at the Supreme Court decision, then he's a majority leader. If you look at the Speaker Bagbin decision, he's a minority leader. But suffice it to say, the MP for Efutu and leader of the MPP group in Parliament. He has been speaking to journalists about what their master plan for tomorrow would be. Listen to him.
So the bailiff of the Supreme Court has just informed me that the process of the court, that is the ruling of the court, has been successfully served on Parliament through the Director of Legal, Mr. Nanatiria Och. So we thank God that Parliament at long last has subjected itself to court processes, and has taken service. So we look forward to Parliament respecting the orders and the directions of the Supreme Court. So that is the good news this afternoon, that the bailiff has just served Parliament.
And Leader, what does it mean for tomorrow especially?
Oh, well, it's not for me. But what is important is that Parliament has received service. And there is no other question again, no controversy. The court ruled that its orders be served on Parliament. And upon being served, Parliament should file its defense within 7 days. Parliament so far has demonstrated that it's law-abiding. From its conduct this afternoon, compared to last week when the same Director of Legal was not ready to receive service. Now he has willingly received service. They didn't have to throw it at him. They didn't even have to put it on his table. He has received it, signed for it, and that is the beauty of democracy. So I think something positive is working somewhere. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, MPP will use brain work, no brow. We're not going to organize people to flood the precinct of Parliament to make noise with placard. We don't need it. We respect the law. Let the law work so that there can be peace in Ghana. That is all we want.
Grateful.
So that's the Honorable Alexander Penyo-Markin speaking ahead of tomorrow's meeting. We would be there in the Parliamentary office to cover whatever will be happening for you tomorrow. But ahead of that, there are other interviews that we've been conducting here on 97.3 Citi in relation to this particular matter. I want to give you a flavor, Kosia.
Well, the National Democratic Congress maintains that the party will continue to have majority in Parliament until the Speaker of Parliament communicates otherwise. Well, the Member of Parliament for Boku Central, Mahama Yariga, speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, noted that the party views Parliament as a separate branch of government from the judiciary.
We will act according to Speaker Bagwin's communication until he communicates otherwise. So if what is said to have been done by the Supreme Court is served on Speaker Bagwin and he comes to Parliament and communicates anything to us on the basis of what he has heard from the Supreme Court, we will act according to the communication given to us by Speaker Bagwin, because we are in a coordinate branch of government, which is the legislature. We listen to our speaker. We don't listen to the Supreme Court. And in any case, we, the minority, were not, the minority at that time and now the majority, were not part of the proceedings, were not a party to the action in court, and the court hasn't spoken directly to us.
Well, that was Mahama Yariga, Member of Parliament for Boku Central. Now, the MP for Ibuakwa South, Samuel Atachian, says the conduct of the Speaker in declaring the 4 seats vacant in Parliament was lawless. He indicated that the act threatens to disrupt the delicate balance of power in Ghana's legislative body.
There is a necessity to interpret the Constitution, and the Speaker is not a judge to do so. How can somebody say that decision from the Supreme Court has a clash with the ruling of the Speaker? In the first instance, a lot of people are thinking through this issue critically, that at a point somebody says is bringing a motion, then that translates into a statement. When you pay regard to outstanding orders, a statement of this nature should be referred to the appropriate committee for investigation and report. Now the Speaker also flouts the standing order and then says that I will give a ruling, and by that ruling, the ruling party becomes a minority. So what is happening is constitutional lawlessness, and some people want to profit from it. If you look at Article 122, where it says you are trying to impede the work of Parliament, where is it written that Parliament should be an extension of the Supreme Court and interpret the Constitution? So when a Speaker is being lawless, you say that somebody is trying to obstruct him in the performance of his duty. I mean, do we understand what we are saying? Because of Article 122, we have what we call legislative interpretation of the Constitution. Is the legislature given any power to interpret the Constitution? And do we have legislative supremacy under this Constitution, or we have constitutional supremacy that the Constitution even determines the powers of the President, the Executive? So why would anybody say that, oh, now what the Speaker does is sacrosanct, can't be questioned by the Supreme Court? That is an absurdity of the highest order.
You heard the Buakwa South Member of Parliament, Samuel Atachia. Now, the African Centre for Parliamentary Affairs, ASEPA, has warned that the frequent reliance on the courts by members of Parliament could weaken Ghana's democracy. ASEPA's Executive Director, Dr. Rashid Rahman, called for an immediate resolution, noting that a continuation would harm the country's image.
We've seen a penchant for, members of Parliament, and sometimes members instigate, outside stakeholders to run to the court. And I've been telling them, what you are doing is you are weakening your own institution. Because wherever you find yourself today, it's not a permanent station. Because in parliamentary parlance, we say minorities change. And in our country, we know that we ought to be very careful how many times and how quick we run to the court to say, interpret or get involved in what we are trying to do to hold the executive to account. Just because maybe it doesn't please somebody, or because, whatever is going on is something that somebody doesn't like. But they are forgetting that precedents are being set.
That was Dr. Rashid Rahman, Executive Director of the African Centre for Parliamentary Affairs.
So if you were a fan of the Member of Parliament for Asin Central, you would say tomorrow is a showdown. That's what it looks like. But then again, it may just be an anticlimax. How exactly should the House of Parliament handle tomorrow the speakership? Because there's speakership and then there's leadership of the House. So how should the speakership be dealing with this? Let's speak to someone who has been a speaker of the House in the past. The former Member of Parliament for Elembele, former chairman of the New Patriotic Party, was a deputy speaker of the House in the John Kufuor government. The Honorable Freddie Wosimoble, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sanda. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How is retirement treating you?
Well, we are enjoying our retirement. We are in politics. I wouldn't say that merely you are not in parliament doesn't mean that you can't participate in what is happening in your country.
Very well. I do recognize the fact that you are a member of the NPP now. The time you were deputy speaker, you were a member of the CPP, but you've become a chairman of the NPP before, so of course you are NPP. However, the conversation we want to have is about the leadership and speakership of the House of Parliament. This House has seen a lot of clash between the leadership and the speakership. Tomorrow, based on what we saw on Thursday, promises to be something similar to that, based on what we saw, the Speaker's decision, and which decision we've seen another decision by the Supreme Court. Tomorrow, if you were to go for the pre-sitting meeting that they hold, what would be your approach? If you were the Speaker and if you were the leader of the NPP side, what would be your approach?
I don't think there should be any controversy. The Speaker made a decision which will be challenged in the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has given certain directives, certain orders. They say that what has been done by the Speaker should not be implemented for now, be rejected. What I will do is that I will wait for the final decision of the court. That's all.
Even though you have members of the party you belong to, and I'm using you now to mean Speaker Bagbin, you have members of the party that you belong to saying that they would work with what you have said on Thursday and not what the Supreme Court has said. These are MPs and non-MPs alike who are saying that they will not let the Supreme Court decision hold. You are a lawyer. How would you deal with this?
I'll be extremely surprised that the Speaker will say anything else apart from what the Supreme Court has decided. He definitely must let the Constitution work. And according to the Constitution, you read it, and I read it, and I believe all of us read it. It is the Supreme Court that interprets the Constitution. And some people have gone to court, and the court had given its decision, it made its ruling. The ruling is that, hold on, the parties, the protagonists, come to court and argue it. Until then, let the situation be as it used to be before they came to court. I think it's as simple as that. Anybody who makes any other decision will be engaging in constitutional lawlessness.
There is this refrain about coordinate powers between the judiciary and the legislature, and that the decision of the House of Parliament ought not be questioned by another institution with coordinate powers.
I don't believe that is an interpretation. Yes, there is separation of powers, but each organ, the three organs, the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, they all have their roles to play. And the role of interpretation of the Constitution, it's entirely in the hands of the Supreme Court. And we all, not just the institutions or the organs, but all Ghanaians are supposed to observe it. You need to respect it and go with what they say. You may disagree, yes? Why not? But the final decision rests with the Supreme Court. Anybody who says that you are interpreting it, they have coordinated. I don't know what it means by coordinating powers. But we are governed not by what we understand, but what is written in the Constitution. Unless you don't want to observe it, unless you want there to be disorder in the country, definitely you must abide by the ruling of the court.
What about the people who say the court is becoming unnecessarily interfering in the work of Parliament?
That's their opinion. I don't believe so. I don't think so. If a decision or a ruling is made and you disagree with it, then of course you will go ahead to accuse the Supreme Court of what you think ought to have been done or haven't been done. But definitely, it is what it is. This country must go on. It must be governed. We must all perform what the Constitution says as interpreted by the Supreme Court. If you say you accuse them, I have no problem with you expressing your opinion, but that doesn't mean your opinion should prevail as against what has been decided. I don't believe that is what we should do.
What would be the consequence of Speaker Bagman sticking to his guns tomorrow?
I would be surprised. I don't believe that he will do so. That definitely amounts to defying or disregarding the ruling of the court. I don't believe Speaker Bagman will do that. He's a lawyer, and he heads a very important organ of the Constitution, the institution of Parliament. You must stick to what the court has decided. I will be entirely very much surprised if he says he wouldn't do so.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
You're welcome, my dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Honorable Freddie Blay. He's the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Parliament when he was there in Parliament as MP for Elembele on the ticket of the Convention People's Party, CPP. He moved to the NPP subsequently when he left Parliament and rose to the rank of chairman of the party, national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios here in Accra, and we are also following this particular story for you. There are other reactions that are coming through. The office of the Chief Imam, or at least his spokesperson, Sheikh Arimi Ashaib, has been speaking on this matter. Let's listen to him.
serious anticlimax to our democratic journey if we really have to see something untoward happening tomorrow. Because some have said it's most likely some military people will be deployed. We don't have the basis for it. But once it's been put out there, we must prepare ourselves for what can happen. So the advice I can give is the trio, that is the various arms of government need to remove sentiment and see what is happening now as a certain opportunity to understand that certain changes could come at any time, and we can look at opportunity to really improve, our democratic journey. It's not so much about this party or that party, but where we have reached means that we have hit a certain point in our democratic journey where certain decisions must be made. And I think if we can remove political sentiment and look at this as an opportunity to make a certain change for the better of our future.
That's Sheikh Arimi Al-Shaib. He is an Islamic cleric and spokesperson for the Chief Imam, Sheikh Usman Nuh Sharubutu. Meanwhile, the National Peace Council has issued a statement, and it says the National Peace Council is aware of the current development in Parliament of Ghana and wish to assure the public that we are working and engaging the relevant stakeholders for peace to prevail. We urge all to remain calm. Thank you. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
For the arrest of 3 students who were part of a group of 8 who gang raped a 16-year-old female student of the Empire Senior High School. Or the court presided over by His Worship Isaac Ejay, who also summoned the headmaster of Empire Senior High School, James Afadu, to explain why the school authorities did not promptly report the incident to the police and why no school representatives were present during the court proceedings. The 5 other suspects who were put before the court were initially discharged due to some discrepancies in the police charge sheet, only to be quickly rearrested and rearranged. Meanwhile, the Eastern Regional Director of Education, Dr. Ivy Asantua-Usu, also condemned the incident. She spoke during the 25th anniversary launch of Pentecost Senior High School in Koforidua and attributed this to the growing indiscipline and immoral conduct among students in schools.
Students, Form 2 students, they are in police custody. They've been caught and their charge is rape. There are 8 boys. 3, they've run away. What are they going to do with their lives? School because now everything is coded. They were handcuffed, walked through the principal streets, and they were put in the cells. So the boys, now the toffees and the whole lot, you know, that you lick. They say the person is high. Your high is just to mess up your life. So your take-home message: how am I receiving the nurturing that the school is giving to me? What is my vision? What is my dream? I need to dream big.
That was the Eastern Regional Director of Education, Dr. Ivy Asantua-Usu. Now, the Koforidua Circuit Court B has remanded into police custody 3 persons who were arrested for illegal mining activities in the Brim River in the Etiwad West District of the Eastern Region. Gideon Gabo, 32, Ajiman Meshak, 24, and Boampon Livingston, 43, were charged with conspiracy to commit crime to wit illegal mining and mining without license on Thursday, 16th October. Or they were arrested by members of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners Task Force. Or their pleas were not taken by the court presided over by Her Honor Matilda Ribeiro at Circuit Court B. However, the suspect, whose charges were read to them in court later, told the court that the facts as presented by prosecution is untrue, as they were arrested on their return from an errand. Prosecution told the court that police investigations are almost done, so prayed the court to adjourn the case. The presiding judge adjourned the case and tasked prosecution to conclude their investigations before the next court date on November 4, 2024. Now, Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okuboy has announced plans by government to pay 2 out of the 4 dialysis sessions for persons between 18 and 60 years. Well, Dr. Okuboy says the move is part of efforts to mitigate the cost of kidney patients who visit the hospital for their sessions. While speaking at an event at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Okuboy said government has heard the cry of kidney patients.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra, Ghana. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu, here with our Kosia Ochi. Let me bring some of the messages I've been sending through. Justin from Nadoli, the Speaker's hometown, says, so the Peace Council has been there all this while. Ose Ahinkra Michael sends a message from Fiapre in Yusonyani. He says, the NDC minority led by Atofosi must stop the patapa and abide by the rule of law as set out in the Constitution, as we don't run parliamentary democracy. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Africa is growing. Africa is connecting through trade, business, family, and the knowledge we acquire across borders. Africa is becoming one continent without borders. Own it with GCB Bank using PAPS, the one money transfer that connects us all. Available in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea, Gambia, Kenya, Djibouti, and Zimbabwe. PAPS, making it possible to send money instantly across Africa, faster, safer, cheaper. For more information, visit any GCB branch or call toll-free 0800 422 422. GCB, your bank for life.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so NDC ban. You be bien Juman kitten. My say a branch executive na di omo ho begim. Say yankoko na opeso hwe poultry farm ketue bi near mao akoko buono near ton koko na mao near mao eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs will be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all, oh. Let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow! Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Bawumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th.
I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Bawumia.
Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Bawumia's vote, yem fan cheche.
And
Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
National Health Insurance.
Hello there! I have great news for you. Registration for the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, just go faster and easier with the new NHIS mobile app. Grab your smartphones and download the My NHIS app from the Play Store or App Store for instant enrollment onto the NHIS. All you need is your Ghana card. Yes, just your Ghana card. Enjoy amazing benefits like registering family, friends, and groups with easy payments from your mobile money wallet or bank debit cards. Link NHIS card to the Ghana card for yourself and others, renewing your membership with ease and locating the nearest NHIS credentialed facility, all on My NHIS app. Get to know the benefit package and over 500 medicines covered by the NHIS with a simple click on My NHIS app, so you do not fall prey to paying extra charges at healthcare facilities. Communicate directly with the NHIS NHIS through the new messaging module available on the app. Embrace convenience. Let's go digital with NHIS. Download the My NHIS app today and enjoy seamless access to healthcare. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Hey, is that Cuckoo? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh!
Evipa, even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loans so kaka, investment kaka, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugger pack?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
Hey, Mapadi, so you still haven't gotten any job in the last 6 years?
Bro, I'm even getting depressed, Charlie. If you don't have any money to get trained in any skill, Charlie, you can't survive in this economy. Even those with big degrees are sitting at home.
There's good news coming. Have you heard of the National Apprenticeship Program?
National Apprenticeship Program?
Yes, John Mahama and the NDC will be launching a National Apprenticeship Program in 2025 to offer free technical and vocational training to all persons desirous of learning a craft.
Did you say free?
Yes, free technical and vocational training in carpentry, ceramics, welding, tiling, hairdressing, vulcanizers, fashion designing, electricals, POP, catering, and many others for young people who sign on to the program. People who complete the training will also be issued a certificate and provided with a startup capital and equipment to establish their own businesses.
You don't mean it.
You shock, eh? The National Apprenticeship Program is the hope of every unemployed Ghanaian.
Charlie, then we need to kick out these liars and nation wreckers and bring back JM. Cause Sanko
Vote for change. Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios here in Accra. Let's do some other election-related stories. And you do know that the Electoral Commission is preparing to print ballot papers. And this would be for the 13 people who have been cleared to run for election 2024 as presidential candidates. One of them, persons who hope to be flag bearer and for that matter, presidential candidate or a candidate in the election is Bernard Mona, who is flag bearer of the PNC. The Electoral Commission disqualified him. He went to the High Court, and today the High Court said, "You have no case. Go back home." He's joined us on the line. Mr. Mona, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Umaru.
How are you receiving the news from the High Court? Because it appears it's an endorsement of what the EC has said. It means you have no case.
Well, I am devastated, to say the least. Totally shocked at the level of decay that is gripping some sections of our judiciary. And I'm just wondering whether this way we'll be able to promote multi-party democracy, and whether democracy is not under threat. Because certainly what the judge sought to do was very appalling. And because of what the judge wants to do and it's appalling, I feel that we are a long way from democracy and we are close to anarchy.
Are you sure it is not the opposite, rather, where the courts are protecting the democracy, which should not make way for people who are not meticulous enough? The judge who sat on the case, Justice Richard Apietu, said you were so not meticulous in filling your forms. If you want to be president of the land, the most serious human being on the land, you should be meticulous in filling your forms. The judge said you were not.
Thank you, Umaru, for being a devil. Not just you are playing a devil's advocate, but you are actually the devil in this instance. You were not in court, but I saw your report. Clearly, the judge was talking about somebody who is coming to equity must come with a washed hand, right? The Electoral Commission, that in my opinion is the examiner here, says that there were errors on my forms. Have we not proven beyond reasonable doubt that the examiner in setting out the questions also made errors? So who is coming to equity and his hands are dirty? The Electoral Commission that is requiring that I should be meticulous has proven without time, and we have submitted a litany of evidence to the court that this Electoral Commission, if it's about errors, does not come closer to being meticulous anywhere. But now the burden of being meticulous is placed on me and not on the Electoral Commission. Umaru, interviews that I have done with you, I pointed out to some of the issues of errors that the Electoral Commission did in the parliamentary and presidential nomination form. And that can be allowed to pass. This is the teacher, the examiner, who is setting questions for you to answer, makes mistakes. His mistakes are tolerated, but you, the student, in this case me, the applicant, my mistakes cannot be tolerated because I am superhuman. And you are there talking as if you are coming from moon or you are coming from Mars.
But the commission says you were given an opportunity to correct your forms, you failed. And again, there's even a part where let me land there, you can answer. There's a part where the commission asserts that some of your errors were actually criminal in nature. If it has to do with criminality, there's nothing to correct about that than to refer you to the police, perhaps.
So the commission is the police?
No, they will refer you to the police for engaging in what they call criminality.
The police? Just answer yourself. Have they referred me to the police?
I don't know. I don't know if they have complained, they lodged a complaint or not.
So why is the commission behaving as if they are a law unto themselves? See, the commission comes first. On the 13th, the commission says that there are incomplete particulars of my supporters. I'm sure that we have overlabored that point. And they gave me opportunity and I corrected the incomplete particulars of my supporters on pages 9, 10, 37, 39, 42, 46, and 50. So that was the letter the commission wrote. That I have incomplete particulars of my supporters on these pages, 7 pages. So we corrected or we completed the incomplete particulars and we returned to the Electoral Commission and they admitted it. Now on the 20th, the Electoral Commission comes with a totally different observation. They say that the IT and technical team detected several errors and omissions. So if I am in court because the letter disqualifying me told you that they detected several errors and omissions, what is the definition of several errors? And what is that error? And when did you bring to my attention the detection of those several errors and omissions? So today, if the court is talking about signature, how could signature qualify as several errors? Or how could a signature identity or identical signatures qualify as an omission? You tell me.
You have said
if the Electoral Commission says that there are identical signatures, and the letter they wrote to me was talking about the detection of several errors and omission, how is identical signature called a several error? How is it called an omission?
Mr. Wana, you've said you're going to the Supreme Court. Any indication when you're going to get the papers filed? Have you received a full certified copy of the decision yet?
Well, not to me directly. My lawyers applied for it. At the time I called them around 2 p.m., they were in another court for some other legal issues. So I'll get to know whether they received the certified copy, and they will study it, and then we'll take the appropriate action at the Supreme Court.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
That's Bernard Mona. He's flag bearer of the People's National Convention. Akosia.
Now, services at public and various sector institutions have come to a standstill following the indefinite strike by the Public Services Workers Union. Well, the union is protesting the delayed payment of two key allowances, the Government Support Service Allowance and the Public Services Administration and Equity Allowance. A visit by Citi News to some government agencies, including the National Identification Authority (NIA), revealed that people seeking various services were being turned away. Some of those affected shared their frustrations with Citi News.
I had my phone got missing this morning. I went to the MTN office to work on the same SIM card, and I was told that unless I had my Ghana card, that's why I was here before I came to realize that they were on strike. Yeah.
And how disturbing is this to you? How is it going to affect you?
Because without the Ghana card, I can't get the old chip back, and I had money on it too as well. Yeah. You know that this public institution, when you go on strike for single day, it causes a whole lot of disturbances to those who are supposed to be here and get their card or whatever. It's very much disturbing.
I came to this one to register my Ghana card, like as a fresh. This one I wanted to register fresh, so I came here and they said they are on strike. I'm coming from Kaswamu. Yeah.
Coming here and the workers are on strike. You can't get access to the registration for your Ghana card. What's your next move?
I don't know. I came here, so I took the security guy's number. So in case they resume duty, I'll just call him so that he will let me know.
You had some applicants who were turned away from the NIA office following a strike by the Public Services Workers Union.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're going to make way now for business news from the Citi newsroom. And then there'll be no point blank tonight because as an only radio station with the authority to broadcast for you the EPL, there's Monday Night Football. And tonight we have a game between two clubs that we're going to share with you. So Nottingham Forest coming against Crystal Palace, and the City Sports team would be in studio to bring you live commentary and analysis. So stay tuned in. We'll be back tomorrow with Eyewitness News at 17:30 GMT.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
I'm saying